So excited. This is a Chamber of Commerce day. We've been fretting about it all week. The man upstairs delivered, and he's here for you. We can't do any of this, ladies and gentlemen. None of this happens without an amazing village of people, of drivers, of crew, of everybody. But the village that he helps us do this, Brian Branson from Trinity Safety. Thank you so much, Brian and Chris, for all you do. Couldn't do it without you. Haddad Dodge. John Haddad from Haddad Dodge is the most generous, amazing guy anywhere in racing here in Bakersfield. This guy is truly amazing to us. I'm going to rip up his hot rod tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun with a Haddad pace car. Thank you, John. Steve McGowan, MMI. Thank you, Steve-O. You are the man. GPS, General Petroleum Services, since 1967. Charlie Beard. This is the house that Charlie built. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Rusty. Thank you, Virgie, for all you do for me and my family. Liuna Local 220. Thank you so much. The best union in the business. Couldn't get anything built in Bakersfield without Liuna. Doesn't get any better than them. Sencal Construction, thank you. Spears. Wayne and Connie Spears. We lost Wayne a few years ago. There is nobody legendary anymore than Wayne Spears for racing here on the West Coast. Gave Kevin Harvick his start. So cool to have them back in the family. Salty's Barbecue, the best in the business. We'll talk to you in a minute. Pick Your Part. You guys need a part for your hot rod. Go over to Pick Your Part because they are so good to us. They give us cars to blow up. They give us cars to destroy. Doesn't get any better than this. Reliable on-site service. Billy Reese, Valley Equipment Rental. Thank you, Billy. You are the man, man. None of this happens without your efforts. Napa Auto Parts, best in the business. Fastenal, the best in automotive or in machine tool vending. You got a business, you go to Fastenal because they will set your business up with a vending machine. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Mission Bank. AJ, you are the best in the business. Dick Shepard, H&S Auto Body. Birch Tool, the whole guys over there. Man, you do so. That's one of their tractors right there. Thank you for all you do. Lightning Electric, Grapevine MSP, Kern Asphalt, everybody. It doesn't happen without all of those people. But I'll tell you what, nothing happens without this very special group of people. And Jeff, you know a lot about this because you're really, really big involved in this. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, I need all active, former military, police, and first responders to please rise, ladies and gentlemen. Get on your feet. Look around you, folks. These are the real heroes. We get to celebrate holidays because of folks like these. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So, Jeff, thank you for being here. Salty's Barbecue. Tell me a little bit about Salty's and how you got started, the TV show, all of that.
Right on. Well, you know what? We started just a little over 13 years ago. As many of you have seen that little shack on the side of Rosedale Highway, we've been able to grow, and we have our second location on White Lane. And I just got the news yesterday that Tuesday we're going to be breaking ground on our third location on Coffee Road. So we're super excited about that. Tuesday afternoon, 2 o'clock, we're going to be out there. Big celebration as we stick some shovels in the dirt and get that new location started. It's been an incredible, incredible opportunity and journey here in Bakersfield, and we've been able to do some amazing things. And one of the cool things we get to do is come out to Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway and be a part of this. This is awesome. You know, this is cool stuff. You guys are awesome. What we get to do here in our community because of you. This is it right here. This is the reason Bakersfield is what we are today, is because of the people sitting in the stands right now.
Well, yeah, for sure, Jeff. Amazing. But Salty's isn't all you do. Tell me a little bit about the program. We did it here at Memorial Day. We've already making plans for next year. Tell me a little bit about that.
Right. So I'm on the board of the Portrait of a Warrior Gallery. If you don't know what that is, it's a gallery at 1925 I Street downtown, and we honor the 27 fallen soldiers from Kern County from post 9/11. These are men that went into the service to stand and protect this country after one of the greatest terrorist attacks we've ever had on our soil. And in that gallery, we have 27 Kern County men who lost their lives. They paid the ultimate price, and we honor them. Well, this year, for the first time we did it, we called it the inaugural because we're going to do it again. But we brought out all 27 portraits with a bunch of Corvettes. We lined them up on this front stretch, and we had the drivers get out and hold those portraits as we read the names of those 27 men who paid the ultimate price from our community. And, man, what a great day that was. We've had so many people who contacted us and said, I didn't know this place existed. And it's just a great place. In that room, in that building, we also honor 181 Vietnam vets from Kern County who lost their lives. So it's just a great place to memorialize, to remember, and as we say at the gallery, to always remember and never forget those who paid the ultimate price.
God, Jeff, what you do is amazing, truly amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we all know it's been a rough week for those of us in motorsports. For us here locally, for us in the Southern California racing community, it's really been a tough month. We lost one of our longtime racers. His name was Nick Giannitis. Won a lot of races here. Nick and I have been racing together for a better part of 30 years. He's won championships up and down the coast. We lost him about a week and a half ago. And then, wow, 2 days ago, what a horrible day that was in Statesville, North Carolina. Our hearts are weeping for the Biffle family and all of the other souls that were on that airplane that day. Today, at lap 13, folks, 16, lap 16 of this race, we are going to stop these cars, put them under a red flag, and we're going to have a moment of silence at lap 16 for the Biffle family. That was his number in NASCAR. We're going to honor him in that way. We are also going to add 2 laps to the race today. It is not 75, it's going to be 77 laps because that was Nick Giannitis' number. So now, Jeff, are you ready on behalf of Lisa and I, Kevin DeLana? Wait a minute, we better practice this. Whose house? All right, I'll give you a B+ on that one. Let's try it again. Whose house? All right, there you go. Okay, so on behalf of Lisa, who was right here somewhere, and Kevin and Delana, we want to wish all of you a happy holiday, a blessed new year. Kiss your loved ones. Are you ready?
I'm ready. This is it. They told me to practice. I practiced at home. My wife got tired of me hollering. Here we go. Drivers, start your engines!
Okay.
The engines have fired here for the season finale for the Spears Cars Tour West Limited Pro Late Model Series, presented by Hoosier Racing Tires. We get these cars all fired up. We're going to step aside on our live FloRacing coverage, and when we're back, starting lineups and the green flag.
So what old NASCAR theme plays in your head during this part? CBS?
Who? There's
TNN?
There's all
ESPN
kinds.
World?
All kinds. ESPN World? Speed World?
ESPN World?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you put me on the spot, I was thinking maybe like CBS initially.
Were you? 98 theme, maybe?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one.
It's just, it's unique. I do, and I did kind of laugh at ESPN when they did like the ESPN2 tribal theme going on.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That was kind of popular. Or that was not popular. It was. Hang on, let me not make ESPN mad right now. That was
Good luck.
That was used a lot in the late 90s. We are here at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway for the Spears Cars Tour West season finale. On track now for 77 laps. It is a salty 77 for the limited pro late models presented by Hoosier Racing Tires. And we've got a mix of age and racing experience all throughout this field, including their very front row.
Well, this should be a fun one, as it has been all year long. The number 45 of Sean Woodside, fastest in qualifying. He will start from the pole. Outside of him will be the 56 of Tanner Huddleston.
Row number 2 will have your championship battle between the 92 of Dylan Zampa and the 36 of Parker Malone.
Row number 3, one of the drivers who's going to be eyeing maybe one of those top 5 spots in the points, Jeffrey Peterson in the number 51. The number 7 of Kenna Mitchell starts in the 6th spot.
Next row back, the V5, Vito Cancilla, and the 62 of Ethan Cheek.
Kel McClenny in the 07. And alongside is that number 24. I like this scheme, by the way. It's always a throwback for me. A Chase Lopez.
So you want to know that's not the color of green, by the way. That's a patented color. Quack-a-mole.
What?
Quack-a-mole.
Quack-a-mole?
For the car wash company. Quick Quack.
Like it.
I like it. Trevor Christiani in the number 90 and the 43 of Christian Bazin. Did I skip over the 05?
You skipped Kay McGlinny.
Sorry, Kay. My bad.
That was rude. Very rude. But you know what? I think that he's going to just show you what's up. How about the 52? Mikey Killen will be starting in the 14th position. That's a new look for Mikey in that number 52. Also, Donald Wachowski in the number 22, moving up from the junior spec late models.
And your final 3 starters, the number 55 of Andrew Chapman. Look forward to him going forward. The number 37 of Caden Cordova and the 91 of Patrick Dennison rounds out your field. 18 starters, and it's going to be a fun 77 laps.
Let's talk about Andrew Chapman starting 3rd from the back. However, that car should have a lot more speed in it. As he was coming out of turn number 4 during his qualifying effort on his first lap, Tommy, he almost took down the wall.
Yeah, coming out of turn number 4, and that ruined the rest of his qualifying session. This guy has been a winner in late model competition. Looking forward to see how quickly he can make his way through the field.
The lights are going out on the pace car. It is Sean Woodside and Tanner Huddleston, the front row. As was discussed, we will be having our competition yellow on lap number 16 in honor of Greg Biffle, where we will have a moment of silence to honor his life. As we get ready to kick things off here, it's the Cars Tour West finale at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway, December 20th. It is daytime racing. I know we're ready. You fans ready here at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway? They're set to go. The drivers are ready, and the green flag is in the air.
Side by side through turns 1 and 2. Woodside with the advantage. Huddleston with the momentum on the outside.
A little door slamming in the back of the field. Kel McClenny washed up into Cheek. They held on to it. No positions lost. Didn't look like too much damage. Huddleston to the lead.
Gets it through the center of turns number 1 and 2. Now the battle is for 3rd. Parker Malone in the 36, white card to the outside of Zampa in the pink and black 92.
These two right now are going to be ones to watch for the championship here today. Jeffrey Peterson looks to the inside of Zampa in the battle for 4th. Peterson trying to hold that speed, hold that momentum, but Zampa's going to have the advantage. Mitchell just behind. It's Peterson who's going to go the highest among the top 5. And Kel McClenny touched the wall out of turn number 4.
Giving his brother some room, and it almost costed him. Side by side down the back straight area. This is the first side by side battle between the McClennys. A little bit off in the distance. Chapman working forward. He's getting by the quick quack number 24 of Chase Lopez.
Field going to go single file here for the first time today, 4 laps into the race, with Huddleston leading over Woodside, Malone, Zampa, and Peterson, the top 5. Peterson getting some attention, though, from Kenna Mitchell. That number 7 was right on the bumper down the front straightaway. Vito Cancilla not too far off as well. A couple of these drivers. Vito Cancilla was just hanging out in Florida a week ago.
Hanging out under an umbrella mostly. That was such a horrendous snowball derby weather weekend, but they got their racing done, and it was thankful because I felt terrible when I was sitting on the couch. clean windshield there for the 56 of Tanner Huddleston. Nothing out front, just him running lap times. As you can see on the onboard camera there, coming through turns number 1 and 2. Nothing but pavement ahead, and that's exactly what he loves to see. But can he manage those Hoosier Racing tires properly?
I can't help but laugh at how quickly it took us to point out to everybody that, yeah, the Snowball Derby had its reign, but we're having a Sunshine Derby out here on the West Coast. Sorry, not to brag. We're out here in T-shirts and shorts.
That's why out west, man, we get the benefit of, I know a lot of people can naysay on the West Coast races, which they have no reason to, but one thing for sure that we have an advantage over, we can race any day, any time, except for the one day it rains.
Yeah, except for that one day that actually rescheduled this event. So we get it too. Peterson going to slide it to the inside there. Vito Kinsella in the battle for 6th.
Good battle here. So Peterson was starting to use that Harvick lane up top. Lost some time. Vito getting by. And this could all be setting up for a late race pass through the field. It is daylight, the sun is shining, the track is warm, and you still have to worry about those tires. Battle potentially starting to brew up for the lead.
Woodside trying to close in on Huddleston. The field knows that in 5 laps we're going to be seeing a competition yellow. We talked about Andrew Chapman starting at the rear of the field. He's right now working his way into the top 10. Oh, but he's getting racy with Kel McClinney. I believe he had completed the pass, but Kel threw it in.
So you're saying we have the onboard on the wrong car?
Naturally.
Yep, it always works that way.
Of course it's going to be, but I think McClinney's suffering a little bit from a tight condition. Or maybe he just isn't happy with Chapman.
I think his headlights are tight.
Well, things are about to get real tight into turn 1. Oh. So that competition yellow really needs to come out soon because we're about to have a natural one.
Yeah, that would be awkward. Chapman, I'm gonna give him a little bit of a critique here. Chapman lately has had a history of defending his inside lane when he's been on the outside. When I'm saying that is he's keeping it tight on the car on the inside, but sometimes he keeps a little too tight, and we see those contacts being made.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. I think that one was a little bit retaliatory. I'm guessing. I'm not behind the wheel.
Caution will come out. And Patrick Dennison made me a little nervous. We're going to revert back a lap. So, Tommy, are we going to have a 2-lap shootout? I'm going to get some verification.
I'm going to watch this. You do the verification part.
Yeah, you watch. We got a little bit heated.
So, Cale McClinney in the 07. Interesting note about Cale. This is a racing program that cannot afford to race each and every race. But when they do, they run up front and they run well. However, the last few months here, he's elected to just help his brother Cabe because he was tired of getting roughed up on the track. They don't have enough money to buy the tires to race on, let alone fix any damage. And they've been having to fix some damage the last time they've been racing. So he's taken a few months off, and naturally he comes back and gets roughed up a little bit.
So we did get confirmation that this will be the competition yellow. This is going to be the honorary lap number 16.
So they're going to get orderly behind the Haddad Dodge pace car here. And it looks like the cars in competition that made some contact there, the 55 of Chapman is smoking. So we're going to keep our eyes on that. So they're going to bring these cars around here. Behind the Haddad Dodge pace car, which is going to get a workout from Tim, always does. But
I mean, I think before we opened the gates, he was doing donuts in it.
I know they've got a beautiful floor over there at Haddad Dodge, but I think Tim really sells these vehicles, especially the pace car, by having some fun out there.
So again, folks, what we're going to do here is we are going to park the field and shut off the engines on this honorary lap number 16. The field will line up behind the pace car.
Well, Jeffrey, I think back to Greg Biffle and his career of racing and a lot of his legacy. And one thing that stands out to me with Greg Biffle is how years and years ago he was one of these late model drivers out here on the West Coast, up in Washington, Northwest Tour racer that would run all over the coast going for those NASCAR points. And Greg Biffle is one of those drivers that was able to make it into the NASCAR scene, made his way from late models all the way up to the national tours, and grabbed some championships along the way, and won many cup races. And I think about all these young drivers that are on this track right now who are aspiring to be the Greg Biffle of today, try to make their way up and make a name for themselves. And, something about Greg Biffle is he was a fierce competitor on and off the track.
Rookie of the Year in the Truck Series in 1998, Rookie of the Year in the Xfinity Series in 2001. In both the divisions, he found championships. 2000 took the Craftsman Truck Series, and in 2002, the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He was able to get 19 wins during his NASCAR Cup Series career, and in 2023, he was named one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers. He was inducted in the West Coast Stock Car Hall of Fame in 2022. In 2024, he was awarded the Myers Brothers Award for humanitarian work, where he used his own helicopter and resources to rescue stranded people and deliver critical supplies like food, water, and medicine to cut-off communities in western North Carolina. We lost Greg Biffle this week, and his legendary life, not only as a race car driver on the track, but as a humanitarian off the track, will live on. Please join us in a moment of silence for Greg Biffle, his family, and those that were lost this week. Thank you.
Speaking of Greg Biffle, he was a competitor out at the old Mason Run Raceway in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. You and I, sitting in the grandstands, watched him battle it out at Mason Run Raceway, and went on to win the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series championship.
He was a guy that just loved to race.
A full-time love to race guy. When he wasn't racing, he was racing.
Well, and Tommy, you and I, we've had the pleasure the last 2 years out at Tri-City Raceway up in Washington.
Yeah.
Being able to see him racing up in the ARCA Menard Series West there.
Last couple of years.
Yeah. And you could see just how much the fan base cared about Greg Biffle.
Yeah.
The West Coast, really. He was a West Coast guy, but Northwest, they were like,
That was his driver.
Yeah.
Amongst many, right? But Greg Biffle was one of the first on the scene. You can see it there on Tanner Huddleston's onboard camera, a couple of decals in memory. Greg Biffle there to the right, and one of our West Coast legends out west on the left side there, Nick Joanitis, who we lost this recently, last few weeks. So
And I feel like Nick Joanitis is just another one of those drivers that we could talk about for hours.
He took us along for a ride in a race car, but also to a wedding. One of the videos on YouTube where he flew home from his brother's wedding, jumped into the race car, started at the back of the pack, and I'm pretty sure went on to win that race. one of the only drivers in Irwindale Speedway history to win multiple track championships in that familiar Jackson race car, Lloyd McGee, 71, 77 late model, super late model team. Joe Nava, long-time racer for the Nava family. And
he pulled off one of those kind of unheard of, I guess, accomplishes. You know, like he didn't just race in super late models in one year. He raced also in the late models, and what did he go and do?
He just backed up his championship.
I'll just win them.
Yeah.
No, Nick was a great driver, a great friend, and he's definitely going to be someone we're going to be missing.
And I always feel like, Jeffrey, through the tragedy, through the loss, especially in the racing community, it's only natural to go back to our happy place on the weekend, and it's here at the racetrack.
Yeah.
And this weekend, sure, look around and we're missing a few people, but this is the exact spot that we all got to know each other at. So, in the pits, Cale McClenny, Andrew Chapman made their visits and got a little work done, cosmetic damage pulled and whatnot. So the 55 gets to come through the field again, making his race just a little bit longer.
Well, as we wouldn't have it any other way. We're going to have both drivers that just had an issue with each other restart together in the back of the field. So
I feel like this is going to be a pivotal restart for Woodside. He's on the inside. And the momentum was what helped Tanner Huddleston work the outside. But Sean, he might need to get some elbows out. It's still plenty early in this race. Green flag underway. Woodside with a great restart. Huddleston on the outside. Going back a row, but they got that momentum rolling here. Trying to get back up to the lead. Going to pedal down on the exit of turn number 4. So Woodside now down the back straightaway, your leader, but the battle is for 4th. Kenna Mitchell on the inside, and the number 7 trying to get the position on Malone. Battle is for 3rd now. Malone working that outside to his advantage. He's moving forward, going for the 3rd spot, and he looks to have it. Zampa, I know he wants to win the race, but he's got to be safe. He's going for a championship, and he cannot get involved in any damage. And a little contact there from Mitchell.
It's like Mitchell heard you. It was like, oh, so maybe I apply a little pressure, he'll let me go. We got one car getting the bumper. It was Chase Lopez in the 24. Got the bumper from Andrew Chapman.
Yeah, Andrew's got places to be, and he's not wasting any time. And my critique isn't me harping on Andrew Chapman.
Oh, sorry, Tommy. Mitchell almost got sideways.
Oh, now we're getting sideways there. Cancilla behind, getting the bumper from Peterson.
And I'm going to correct what I said. Did get sideways, but almost took the 92 of Zampa with her. Nice save there by Mitchell. You were saying?
I was going to say, Chapman, I'm not beating him down. I'm just basically saying what I've seen lately is he's getting more physical out there, and I think that's a confidence. Remember, Andrew Chapman, Jeffrey, you and I watched him get his late model racing type of start, and ever since he's figured these cars out, he's got the confidence. And I think with that confidence comes maybe a little bit of aggression.
And, you know, I think one thing that we're starting to see Chapman do is dabble a little bit more in the races like the ARCA Menards Series West.
Yep.
And I think that kind of helps to that racing maturity where the more you get involved in those type of races, as we see once again the battle here for 4th between Zampa and Mitchell, but maybe a little bit more of that kind of racing is going to be help some that develops as you move forward, because we've always seen it where a driver's able to get that little bit of experience with a new set of drivers, maybe more experienced drivers, longer races, learning to keep your equipment under you. And I think it also helps kind of on the management, maybe on, you know, decisions of, am I going to act a little more aggressive here or cool it down? So Yeah, it's all a learning curve, and Chapman's still a very young driver who's learning the way, and the good news is he's got speed.
Yep, that's the thing. It's always easier to slow him down than to speed him up.
All right, well, if you're Zampa right now, how hard are you going to push this?
I think you're just going to understand what the situation is. I think obviously he can't risk too much, but he knows that Kenny Mitchell there on the inside, she can handle her race car. Unless there's any form of major contact, they're going to be okay racing side by side. Woodside continues to lead over Huddleston. The gap is about equal from first and second to second and third, but there's not much of a gap between third and fourth. Or at least the rest of the top five, for that matter.
Kenny Mitchell's coming. Now getting to the inside of Parker Malone for the third position. And this is what Zampa does want to see. The driver that's closest to him in points also getting passed. But this whole group right now, they're not going easy on each other.
And the battle for the points in the local chase for the championship, the 56 of Huddleston is your point leader. He has to beat the 05 to get the championship. And he's doing just that. Gabe McClenny is buried deep into that top 10 as we continue the battle for third.
Watching Mitchell kind of ride on that left rear quarter panel of Parker Malone. Just behind them, Vito Kinsella working the inside here on the 92 of Dylan Zampa.
Oh, yeah, we're tied out of 4.
Just behind all this, I think Jeffrey Peterson's just waiting for a lane to open up before he tries to push forward on a challenge. But man, is it getting close.
Yeah.
And it's not just here. We've got this pack racing. This is third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh place. Behind them, they're side by side in the battle for eighth. We've got battling just outside of the top 10. We've got a lot of battling going on, and we're going to start mixing in some lap traffic here shortly as Pat Dennison's about to go one lap down.
We'll see this battle here out of 4, but I'm going to go back over to the leaders. As you see, first and second chasing down Dennison.
See that sun coming out of turn number 4 for Huddleston. He's going to be coming up on this number 91. Huddleston got to be looking at what Woodside's doing, where he's gaining time right now, and maybe where Huddleston's able to gain. He gets to the inside of Dennison. He's going to race him hard here into turn number 1 and make that pass. Unfortunately, Woodside is getting smaller in that windshield.
Yeah, Woodside is on the move.
Oh, trouble!
Peterson's going to slide to a stop just before the wall. And we go yellow.
I was just going to point out that right front tire of Jeffrey Peterson was showing signs that he's caught the wall at some point. And we were talking about just how tight that whole group was racing each other. You know, I might take it back. I'm looking at the right front, and it's either that the writing on that tire is just that much. They used the bold text on it, but it kind of had that look like maybe it had touched the concrete, so not entirely sure. Regardless, Peterson going to bring out the second yellow.
Did a great save to keep it off the wall. I know there wasn't much to really do to save it other than hold the brakes down, but always a risky thing here at the back straightaway at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. That inside wall will bite and bite hard because of that speed you carry out of turn number 2.
Yeah, I think it's oftentimes it's a matter of how quickly you lock it down. Because when you're trying to save it, as we look at a replay here,
right there,
actually got into Zampa.
Just pushed up. Turn number 2.
Our point leader getting a lot of action right now. So Zampa went wide. Peterson, let's see.
Right there.
To me, I'm wondering.
You think
maybe
the 51 might have tried to sneak in behind?
I'm thinking that maybe he thought Zampa was going to have a higher exit. I'm watching Zampa. He kind of keeps it off the. I don't know.
I see what you see.
Yeah. It's close. Hard racing. Are we allowed to take the cop out answer?
I think so, and I think Peterson's been struggling. It's not that 51 is not handling as it typically does here at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. So I think he's probably just trying to find something, and of course he found the inside of the 92. And you worry about that championship for Zampa. That could have been a big one. So Sean giving us a yellow flag here.
And the team going to work on Jeffrey Peterson's car. Now, things have been pretty good of late, but the start of the year, the 51 and 92 weren't really getting along.
No.
So,
51.
Now tell me, did the
36.
51 catch the wall with the right front? Like I'm starting to think.
I think he saved it.
I think. Well, I don't mean in the wreck. I mean before he.
It's been a struggle.
I'm trying to convince myself that I'm not wrong, but I'm more often than not wrong. So, Kel McClenny in the pit area. And Patrick Dennison will be getting his one lap back, so he will be back on the lead lap.
That caution came out at perfect time for Pat.
So far, we have not utilized any of our competition yellows. We've been cashing them in with